whole pickup line. Miren este pelo. I mean, it is just a mess. I was like, what better time than I'm gonna do a story time, but I'm gonna do it in the car because I have time. So let me take advantage of that. So this is actually, I have some clips of that day when I started feeling like the baby was coming. So I'm kind of gonna be narrating, I guess you could say, like what's going on. So I'm gonna play the clip of that day, like me describing like what I was going through, and then I'll come back and let you guys know what happened, because I unfortunately was not allowed to record in the hospital. So yeah, today is Sunday, December 15th, and during like maybe 1 or 2 in the morning, I started feeling a lot of pain. I'm already 4 centimeters dilated, and we were just waiting for like the cervix to soften up and stuff. My doctor is like, the minute that you're, you know, having those contractions that are 5 minutes apart, like labor is gonna be quick. I started having like a lot of pain around 10, and I went to the restroom and I noticed that my mucus plug came out. And if you guys don't know what that is, I'm not gonna describe it because it's kind of gross. I've never experienced it because both my kids I was induced with them, and I've never experienced like normal contractions. And I noticed that I started having contractions after my mucus plug came out, and so I'm like, oh my god, it's happening. I'm not completely ready. And so the whole day we've been doing errands that like we were supposed to get done throughout the week, but which is impossible. Now it is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I feel that I've already had like all my contractions are like kind of 40 to 45 minutes apart. But the walking is getting hard and I'm getting really tired. The back pain is intense, and thank God for seat warmers in the car, because I'm literally warming up the seat so that my back can feel kind of comfortable, and my butt. The cramping is still there. The contractions are still coming. They're consistent, but they're not like short enough. So I'm just making sure I have everything that I need for baby. And the due date is next week on the 24th, but I already feel like I'm not gonna make it. I'm in serious pain. I have not been recording because I just don't even have time. Like, I get contractions every 5 minutes, so I'm heading to the hospital. I thought I was gonna be able to prepare, and luckily my neighbor is still here and she hasn't gone on vacation, so she's gonna watch my son and my daughter, thank God. So I didn't want to take him to the hospital, but I'm in serious pain right now. I've been in pain all day, and I'm just ready to get to the hospital now. So I will see you guys at the hospital. So like I said in the clip, like I was on my way to the hospital. The hospital was 20 minutes away from my house, but like I think we got there in like 15 minutes. And like I'm so like disoriented at this point. My water hadn't broken yet. But I was feeling like intense pain. I'm like telling my husband like, let's go. So as soon as we're rolling out of the neighborhood, my husband's like speeding out, and I'm like, stop, you're going too fast. And he's like, I'm like, oh my god, the bumps. And he's like, Val, like, he's like, we don't want to have the baby in the car. He's like, you know, like I'm trying to get there. And I'm like legit crying. You know, you cry so hard, you're crying, your teeth are like shattering, you're like yeah, I was doing one of those cries. Like the way he was driving, I felt every single bump on the road, every single pothole. He's like speeding. Of course this motherfucker takes any like opportunity to like, you know, act like he's in Fast and the Furious, while I'm over there like me muero. And we're in the car about to get off the exit, and like I don't know what it is, but you know, like when you have to go pee and then you're like almost home and you're like holding it and you have to go pee and you're almost home and you feel like it gets intense. It's like, oh my god, like the baby is coming right now. And my husband pulls up to the emergency side because that's where I was told to go, and I had like already pre-registered. But the one thing I didn't do that they do here in Texas called a pre-lab registration, where they take all your lab work and all this stuff, and then they have you fill out paperwork, just so like when you're having your baby, it's literally just you and the baby and no paperwork. Okay, so I was supposed to do that on Friday. It is currently Monday now, 12 a.m. when I'm having this baby. And I'm like rolling my eyes back, like, oh my God, I'm in so much pain. And like my husband's like, okay, like there's like nobody there. There's like nobody pushing wheelchairs, nobody like coming out in the valet or anything like that. Like literally it's empty. And I'm just like, he's like, should I go get a wheelchair? And I remember going like this. I'm like, please go get the wheelchair, go get the wheelchair. And I was like, go! And he like runs and goes into the hospital, grabs a wheelchair, comes back. And I swear, I feel like that took like forever. I don't know how quick that was. So remember, it's like 15 minutes from my house. The hospital's 20 minutes from my house. It took us like around like 15. He gets the wheelchair, and the lady at registration was like super calm. She's like, what's your name? What's your age? Like what's, you know, like your blood, do you know your blood type? Do you know, like she's just asking a million questions, and like I couldn't answer them, and my husband was answering, but he was answering wrong, and I was just like looking at him like, how do you not know the answers? But then, you know, that's for another time. It's like, you don't listen to me, do you? They check me in. My husband goes to park the car because it's still sitting outside an emergency room and outside of the emergency area. And the guy takes me in the wheelchair, and he's going so slow. And I'm just like, can you please hurry up? I'm in so much pain. I really have to go to the bathroom. I really have to go pee. Like, please hurry up. He takes me upstairs, and we check into like the OB triage. And I don't know what, I'm so sorry, like, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I don't know if it was like a nurse, a resident, I don't know who it was. They were just like, they were standing by the bathroom, and he was like, she needs to go to the bathroom. Is there any way she can go use the bathroom? And I was like, please, I really have to go pee. And like bouncing up and down, like closing my eyes, like arching my back, like I'm in so much pain. And she was like, okay, like what are you feeling? And I was like, I'm feeling like I really have to go. And then like she's like, okay, like let's get up from the chair. I get up, I can barely like walk, and I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm about to have this baby right here, right now, on the toilet. And so I like try to take off my pants, and I can't. And she's like, let me check. She's like, let me check how far, like how dilated you are, and let's go from there. And so like I lay on the bed, which took me forever too. It felt like Shamu trying to get onto the bed. Somebody throw Shamu back in the ocean. And after that, after I laid on the bed, she checks me. She's like, okay, I need to, she's like, you're at a 10, like we need to rush you right now. And like, I'm like, 10? I already know, I have 2 other kids. I'm like, 10 centimeters? I'm ready to freaking push. She's like, can you move her to this bed? I'm in like the bed where they check me. I move over to the next bed, which is so hard for me because at this point I'm just hearing you're at a 10 and like knowing I'm ready to push. They're trying to look at the doctor. I felt like my body was just like, all right, deuces. And so I was just like, oh my God, I can't do it. My husband comes up, they're like, here, can you like put her clothes together? Like he's like gathering all my stuff. I get on the bed, and I just remember closing my eyes, and I told myself, like, I will not have a baby without having an epidural, just because I can't imagine how like painful it is. But this time I'm feeling everything, and I feel so weak. I feel like I'm like, I need some medication. Can I get anything? And she's like, no. And she's like, we're past that. When she said that, I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, you're about to have this baby. And I was like, please, I need something. And she was like, we can't. I was like, anything. And she's like, don't worry, you're gonna be fine. And when we get there, they're like, okay, like, did you do your pre-registration paperwork? Like, I don't have time to think about that. Like, I'm about to have this baby, you said, right? I'm like, oh, we forgot to record. Like, it comes in my head, like, oh, we forgot to record. And he whips out his phone, and they're like, oh, you can't record here.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Call transition nurse.
I have to. I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, our patient we just put in room 13. And the mole tip if you want to come see her.
No, you can't.
What do you mean we can't record here? And I was like my family's all in Virginia. Like, they want to see, you know, the birth of my son. Like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm not going to be recording you guys. Like, it's just literally my face and like my husband and, you know, like our reaction. Like, I want to remember these kind of things. And they're like, yeah, you can't do that. So my husband turns off his phone, and they're like, don't push, because she heard me say like, I want to push. And I look at my husband, and I was like, I'm gonna push. And he's like, are you sure? Like, they're saying don't push. And I'm just like, I'm a push. I like want to like crouch down, like kind of do like a like the positioning I was trying to get into was more like a squat, and that's how I wanted to push the baby out. And they're like, lay down please, and they're like, just like stay calm please. Like they can tell like I'm so alterada, like I'm so like I want to push, I'm in so much pain, like let me do things how I want to. And then there's the lady, she puts my bed back, like she lays me down, and I was livid, and I was like, I'm freaking pushing now, because now it's like I know I have to get this baby out. I can't take the pain anymore. And like my eyes are rolling back. I probably look like the exorcist laying on the bed. Like my husband was looking at me like,
oh God, I need some drugs.
Slow down your breathing. You're not in an aerobics class.
Fuck my breathing.
and I pushed and my water broke. And I literally, like, I think as soon as my water broke, I had a contraction, and I pushed within that contraction. All I could think about was pushing, and I like brought my chin to my head like this, and I was like, ah! And the baby's head came out, and like the next push was like just the shoulders and the body was out. So this all happened in a matter of like a minute and 30 seconds, and they were like, wow, so you just delivered your baby. And I was like, yeah, I just delivered my own baby. I was exhausted, and then about 45 minutes later, the doctor came. I had to push out my placenta, because if you don't know, you have to basically give birth to a whole child, then you have to push again for the placenta to come out. And then like the doctor started stitching me up. But yeah, I was in pain. Like when he was stitching me up, like they give you like local anesthesia down there, or whatever it's called, general local anesthesia, and it kind of numbs you. But yeah, that's how Mateo came about. And I will never forget giving birth to Mateo, because he was so painful. But I did it, and I'm in shock that I did it, because I always said like I'll never have a baby without an epidural. Like like drug me up. I'm weak as hell. Now we have our little Mateo, and he was almost born in the car. If I would have waited a little bit longer, and if like my husband would have driven really slow, I probably would have had him in the car. And I don't know, I think your just instincts come in. Like my husband would have just had to like catch him. I always said I wanted to have the baby without any, like I wanted to feel what it was naturally. And now my husband was like, yeah, ya ves, you wanted this. So he's like, how do you feel? And I was like, I fucking did that. And he was like, when the baby came out, he was like, you did that. He's like, you freaking did that. And I was like, yeah, I did. And you're proud of me, and I'm proud of myself. We've been in the hospital for like 36 hours now, and I'm just excited to go see my kids, and so that they can meet their little brother. I'm so glad we had him before Christmas, because now we get to spend Christmas at home with baby and the whole family. We are finally home, and my husband went to go get the kids at the neighbor's house.
Come here. Look. His baby brother, Eva. Look, so baby brother said that he wanted to give Isabel a present because she's a big sister now. Oh, you don't want it? You want it?
Say thank you, baby.
Mateo gave it to you, okay? Mateo bought it for you. Mateo bought Nicholas some Legos.
Yay. Police car.
Nick, did you think he was gonna look like that?
I knew he was going to look like me.
He looks like you?
No, when I was a baby, I looked like that. Oh, he's fine now.
Yeah, he's hungry. Are you excited? He's not in mommy's belly anymore, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I can do stuff.
Now you can. You still gotta be careful though.